Good morning. Been up a long time today. Woke up just past 2:30, about 25 minutes to 3, and got out of bed just a few minutes past 3. So I've been up for a long time already. And the title that I've finally chosen for today is Sharing Experiential Truth, Questioning Myself. I guess Mercury retrograde either ended yesterday or it ends today. I usually don't pay much attention. However, recently, especially yesterday, I was challenged yet again, questioning my intelligence and willingness to trust myself in dealing with people. Those of my Facebook friends that were on my wall last night may have noticed my post regarding my computer issues. I will talk more about this today, boring some of you, and hopefully get to something more uplifting as I move beyond that. Where will I go beyond that remains to be seen and heard. The question I often ask myself is there value in telling the truth when it's considered negative? Let's see, I noticed an error and I just fixed it. Save. Okay, so let's get the computer stuff out of the way first, and then I hopefully will move on to the bigger question. As some of you know, for 3 days in a row, I was unable to scroll down on my Facebook wall to see any more than the most recent 4 posts, so that when I went onto my own wall, I couldn't even find my own video, which annoyed the heck out of me. And I kept trying to figure out how to fix it, and finally I did a Google search on Friday afternoon and found a thing that says fix Facebook. And I called up the number, I called the number, and I got a young man, or I guess a young man from India. Delightful young man, had a very pleasant conversation. Yes, we can fix your problem. I need to have access to your computer. And I was a little reluctant, but I thought, okay, if he can fix this. He said it would only take a few minutes. Okay, it would only take a few minutes. So he looked at my computer and looked at my Facebook wall and commented about how many friends I had, and what do I do to have that many friends? And I told him about my videos, and we ended up, before we even got into much of the computer stuff, we had already talked at least, I'm going to say 10, 15 minutes at least, about my videos, about spirituality. He gained my confidence right off the bat by how the conversation went. And then he started looking at, he said, let me check some things. And he checked and he says, oh, you've got a Trojan. And I can't remember what the name of it was. But he pulled it up online, and yes, it was indeed listed as a Trojan, and that was supposedly in my computer. And I had some corrupted files in Windows, and if we could correct those corrupted files, we could fix Facebook and fix some of the problems that had been created by this Trojan. That was the storyline. And then he said, but it's going to cost you. I really recommend your antivirus program, which is Viper, is obviously not doing the job. It's not protecting you from this kind of thing. I really recommend that you get a lifetime program called Microsoft Security Essentials, I believe it was, because he was actually working on my laptop, which is the one that I do all of my videos on. I didn't initially allow him or anyone else onto my main computer, which is my desktop. Anyway, he said it's going to cost you $119.99 for the Windows or Microsoft Security Essentials. And that's a Windows 7 computer, by the way. And I say that, you'll understand why when I get to the other part. Anyway, and to fix the problems that you have, you've got quite extensive problems. You're going to have to go in and clean out a lot of things in your computer wherever it's been infected, and it's going to cost $79.99. So $200 basically is what they wanted out of me. Okay, well then they transferred me to somebody and this guy was in India, and he transferred me to somebody in the UK, and talked to him, and he even wanted my password, and I wouldn't give it to him. But anyway, I ended up giving him my debit card information and everything, and they charged me the $200, and then put me back on. He said he was going to put me back on with the same person that was with me before, but that wasn't true. I got to another individual, also in India, and I guess the financial guy filled in. I don't remember where it was, but in one case they created this document, this contract basically, that they typed my name in and created a signature online, which wasn't my signature. And I even commented, I said, I don't feel right about that. And actually there were 2 or 3 times that I said, I don't feel right about this. My gut was telling me something's not right here. Something's not right. And yet I continued and ended up, they finished working on my laptop and then went to my desktop. They didn't put the program in there because that has Windows 8, and that program doesn't work in Windows 8. Windows 8 has its own security thing. I can't remember what it's called. Windows Defender, I guess it is. Anyway, they did this, and then after they were all finished, they created an email saying that I was satisfied with the service and sent it to themselves from my computer. They sent it. I mean, I didn't. All they said is just type your name. So I typed 3 characters on the email. 3, RON, and then they hit send. They had total control of my computer. I wasn't even in control of my own computer. And as soon as I got off, I did a search, and Windows or Microsoft Security Essentials is free. Windows Defender is free. It doesn't cost anything. And they just had sold me for $119. And I sent them an email right back and said, oh my God, you scammed me out of $119.99. You charged me for a free program. And I was basically letting it go. I mean, I wasn't going to make a big issue out of it. Then yesterday morning, I noticed that a section of my hard drive that was actually a secured section had disappeared. I mean, it was gone. It wasn't on my hard drive anymore. And none of the files that were in it, it totally, I don't know what happened to it. It wasn't there. And then further on in the day, and so I had to recreate that. And further on in the day, I went to make a correction that somebody sent me that there was an error on my web page, and I went to make the correction in Dreamweaver, and Dreamweaver comes up, it loads, and then it has your trial period has expired. I've had this program for over 9 years. There was no expiration. I bought Dreamweaver. I paid, I don't remember, $300-400 for it, whatever it was back then. I was working with a student at Florida Tech, and we worked together on this project. And anyway, we bought Dreamweaver at a student rate way back in 2004. Anyway, long story short now, how much time have I used? Oh my goodness. Anyway, long story short, I couldn't get Dreamweaver to work on that computer. I do have Dreamweaver on my laptop, but it doesn't work in conjunction with Dragon Naturally Speaking. Dragon Naturally Speaking won't load on my desk, on my laptop. It loads on my desktop, but those are two programs that I always work together. And now one of them works on one computer, the other one works on the other computer, but they don't both work on the same computer. So needless to say, I'm really infuriated at this company. I've sent a thing to my bank. I got a call early in the morning, like 8:30 in the morning, yesterday morning, from my bank security division questioning the charge. And I told them I was really displeased that they charged me for the thing, but I said they apparently fixed my computer. I hadn't discovered anything wrong at that point in time when I got the telephone call. So they let the call go through. But anyway, I sent them emails and I forwarded it to security, to the fraud division of my Visa debit card. And hopefully it will be reconciled. But I had at least 2 or 3 times during the 3+ hours that I was on the phone with these people, with at least 3 different people. I think the first one was in sales, the second one was in finance, and the third one was tech support that actually did the work on my computer. But I questioned, and I even said to them, I says, I'm not feeling good about this. And I wasn't, but I continued to go because the first guy gained my confidence. The second 2 didn't. The first guy gained my confidence. And I was allowing the others to proceed where it did not feel right. It did not feel right. In fact, at one point, I actually moved my cursor trying to stop him from doing a thing that he was doing on my computer. Because don't do that, don't do that. And I even typed something in, don't do that. Anyway, I don't even remember what that was now, but it was something that I didn't want done. Do we trust ourselves? Can Ron trust Ron? That's the big lesson I think Spirit's giving me. And the question that I posed is what is the value in telling the truth? We have so many things that we push down, so many things that we suppress, so many things that we just don't talk about because it's not considered appropriate. And my belief has long been those are the very things that we need to talk about, not to get stuck in our story, but to look at them and to try to find the deeper meaning and the message in all of these things that happen to us. What is the message? I think Spirit is working on all of us to get us to trust ourselves. And it's really, really hard because I think most humans, if not all humans, have a history of self-doubt, have a history of, am I good enough? I don't feel good enough. I feel isolated. I feel unloved. I feel this. And these have been coming up for me big time, whether it's because of Mercury retrograde or whatever it's because of. They have been coming up big time, and I've been going through a lot of introspection and a lot of feeling bad. And so if you're experiencing that, I want to encourage you not to stuff it. Find at least somebody that you can talk to about your feelings, talk with about your feelings, and tell the truth. I really think there's value in that, as long as you don't get stuck in your story. In any case, this is what I'm sharing for today. And I want to leave you with the word of encouragement to learn to trust yourself. I haven't completely mastered it myself yet. I want you to know that. I'm not one of those spiritual people that comes on and says, well, look at me. I'm up on this high pedestal. I've achieved it. You can too. That's BS. I mean, I don't think anybody's really achieved it. We lie to ourselves. I've been in that place where I've thought that I've arrived. And then I realized I didn't. That I'm just human, just like everybody else going through this process, just the same as the whole human race is going through it, each in our own time and in our own way. But nevertheless, we're each being challenged Are we willing to tell the truth in a world of lies? Are we willing to be judged? Are we willing to go out on a limb and expose ourselves and be vulnerable? I've chosen to do that, and hopefully it will encourage others to do it as well, because I think that's part of the process of healing. Thank you for listening. Namaste.